Okay, here it is, Chapter 4 of the Magic Treehouse number 1, Dinosaurs Before Dark by Mary Pope Osborne. Chapter 4, Henry. Jack gasped as Annie held out her hand. Oh, brother, she was always trying to make friends with animals, but this was going too far. Don't get too close to him, Annie, Jack shouted. But Annie touched the pteranodon's crest. She stroked his neck. She was talking to him. What in the world was she saying? Jack took a deep breath. Okay, he would go down too. It would be good to examine the creature, take notes, like a scientist. Jack started down the rope ladder. When he got to the ground, Jack was only a few feet away from the creature. The creature stared at Jack. His eyes were bright and alert. He's soft, Jack, said Annie. He feels like Henry. Jack snorted. He's no dog, Annie. Feel him, Jack, said Annie. Jack didn't move. Don't think, Jack, just do it. Jack stepped forward. He put out his arm, and very cautiously he brushed his hand down the creature's neck. Interesting. A thin layer of fuzz covered the pteranodon's skin. Soft, huh? Said Annie. Jack reached into his backpack and pulled out a pencil and a notebook. He wrote, Fuzzy Skin. What are you doing? Asked Annie. Taking notes, said Jack. We're probably the first people in the whole world to ever see a real live pteranodon. Jack looked at the pteranodon again. The creature had a bony crest on top of his head. This is the crest. That's what they call a crest, is this long, skinny piece there. The crest was longer than Jack's arm. I wonder how smart he is, Jack said. Very smart, said Annie. Don't count on it, said Jack. His brain is probably no bigger than a bean. How big is a bean? Just a little tiny, right? Little bean. No, he's very smart. I can feel it, said Annie. I'm going to call him Henry. Jack wrote in his notebook. Small brain? You put a question mark. He doesn't know. Jack looked at the creature again. Maybe he's a mutant, he said. The creature tilted his head. Annie laughed. He's no mutant, Jack. Well, what's he doing here then? Where is this place? Said Jack. Annie leaned close to the pteranodon. Do you know where we are, Henry? She asked softly. The creature fixed his eyes on Annie. His long jaws were opening and closing like a giant pair of scissors. Are you trying to talk to me, Henry? Asked Annie. Forget it, Annie. Jack wrote in his notebook. Mouth like scissors. Did we come to a long time ago, Henry? Asked Annie. Is this place from a long time ago? Suddenly she gasped, Jack! Annie was pointing towards the hill. On top stood a huge dinosaur. What kind of dinosaur do you think is up there? We'll have to read the next chapter too and find out, but for now, we're going to go ahead and have out our Dinosaur After Dark, Dinosaurs Before Dark work packet, and you're going to answer the questions, and then we'll come back and look at them together and see if we got them correct. So go ahead and push pause on this video, and then push play when you're ready to go over your answers together. All right, hopefully you have time to answer all of your Chapter 4 questions. Hopefully they were easy because you were being a really, really good listener. And we will go back through the text together now and find that text evidence to answer our questions. It says Chapter 4. Which character was more careful? Do you think Jack was more careful, or do you think Annie was more careful? I'm going to have to say Jack was more careful because Annie just really, really wanted to go down and see the pteranodon. But Jack was a little more careful and took his time and made sure it was a little bit safer than Annie did before he went down. So Jack was more careful. Number 2. What did Annie name the pteranodon? She gave the pteranodon a name. Was it A, Harry, B, Henry, or C, Saurus? What do you think? Annie named the dinosaur Henry because she thought that the dinosaur was soft, just like their neighbor's dog, Henry. Remember in the first chapter when they looked out the window and they saw Henry far away at their neighbor's house? That's why she named the pteranodon Henry, because he was soft like their neighbor's dog, Henry. And number 3, Do you think Jack and Annie should be examining the pteranodon? Guess what? There's no right or wrong answer. It's whatever you think. So I think they should not be examining the pteranodon because it could be dangerous. Or you could say, I think they should examine the pteranodon because just like Jack said, maybe they're the only people in the whole world that have ever seen a real live pteranodon. So you get to write down what you think on number 3, and you're going to start your sentence with I think. Okay? And then if you take a picture of that and you share it with me on the Remind app, I'll send you something special in your next packet because I want to see what you think. Okay? So go ahead and write your answer down. Tell me what you think. Take a picture and send it on our Remind app, and I'll send you a special prize in the next packet. Now we should be ready for Chapter 5. So go ahead, and when this video is over, when you're ready for Chapter 5, just find our Chapter 5 video, and I'll see you over there.